Hello, and welcome to Living Proof, the Isaac Newton Institute podcast. My name is Dan Aspel. In this episode, I will be speaking to Professor Nataliya Vaisfel'd, until recently head of the Chair of Methods of Mathematical Physics at Odessa II Mechnikov National University, and currently a senior lecturer at King's College London. Nataliya was forced to flee Ukraine after the Russian invasion of her home country in February of this year. She has since travelled across Europe with her wheelchair-bound mother and their dogs, eventually finding sanctuary in Britain, in part thanks to INI's Solidarity for Mathematicians programme. What follows is Nataliya's story in her own words.
So our journey began really from in Ukraine after 3 weeks, I think, after beginning of war, when we escaped and crossed the border with Moldova with my mom and our dogs. And that's all we took with us, our rucksack, pills of dogs and mom, and started our trip. And we didn't know how long it will be, as all other people. Just we understood that we want to find some place where we can stay for some period and understand where we are at all. And in such way, we crossed practically all Europe by bus, by car, by train, because it was impossible to take plane because of dogs. They're very old and can't stay in cargo, of course. And we came to Spain, to small, nice town, which name on Mediterranean Sea, which name is San Pedro del Penatar. And we found the apartments, and there practically all started, because it was obvious that we need to find some place where we have right to live. And because I had to this moment English visa with right to work, I decided that mom can apply for English Ukrainian scheme. So in such way we were waiting, we applied documents. Online was possible to apply them online. Thanks very much. It was very important for us because for mom was practically impossible to go to some embassy or something like this, or call center. And we were waiting for her visa. And I was started, searching some position. Of course, first of all, I went to Jobs.uk site and started to find something there. But I understood that many things, for example, I didn't know how to do, how to apply CV immediately, how to organize it and so on, because it's a little bit another rules in each country. As usually, life usually send you someone as angel. And such angel was girl who was daughter of my students, former students from Odessa, because in Odessa I also worked at university, at mathematical department. I was head of mathematical physics department there. And Tanya Gavrilchenko, she found me absolutely occasionally. She sent me some Skype text. Hello, I'm Tanya Gavrilchenko, I'm daughter of your students, maybe you remember them. And I work as postdoc, at my postdoc in USA. And if you want some place in USA, we have a lot of positions which we can propose to Ukrainians, to support Ukrainian scientists. And I was very grateful to her and asked how and what, but I understood that with mom and dogs it's impossible to cross ocean. And I told her that we applied to mom's Ukrainian scheme. And she says, I will ask my director of my institute what is possible to find in the UK. And it was her advice. And so practically she was my angel who advised me to do it. She told, it's such institute exists, and they have such program, Solidarity program. You can try to apply, try. Maybe would be useful. That was my first understanding how all this happened. So this was first step. And I went to site and really found this program, but not only this. She told me that I can write to someone there. She says, don't worry if you don't know people absolutely. Just try and explain your situation. And my first letter I wrote to amazing, very kind person, Ulrike Tillman. And she answered me. She was incredibly busy, and I thought maybe my letter just she will not answer and so on. But I really, in few weeks, I got answer, and she says yes, of course we can try to do something. Go to the site, find this program, Solidarity program, and try to apply. Just explain me your situation. And she asked in absolutely non-formal way, because we used in our country for more formality, between people. Here she says, just explain me what is with you. And absolutely unknown person, she asked me how I am, what is with me, how I cross border, how are you with mom, and how is she, how old is she? She is 88 years old. It's her second evacuation, can you imagine? First evacuation was during Second World War when she was a kid. She was evacuated to Siberia from Germans. And now it's second evacuation in her life. Too much for one person, really. And when I sent this email to Ulrike and she answered me, I started to do my application to Solidarity for grant. But then I found it's same site such announcements, from universities, where they say that they have some positions for people in mathematics. And because all my life I used to work, I thought, why should I need really grant? Maybe better not to ask for grant, maybe try to apply there where they confidently know that they need people. That's why I decided to apply and to ask people from this site, And so first what I found was a proposition of King's College. It was proposition of Professor Nikolai Gromov that if you need some help, please, you can connect with us. And in parallel, it was as two branches, In one, I applied one branch in one direction. I applied for Solidarity grant because they say, let's see, maybe we can help you. Yes, apply. And I tried. So. And second, I applied to this, I just sent email to Professor Gromov where I also explained my situation and told him that if possible, and they need somehow some work, I would be happy to be helpful. And such all is started. There in King's College, they were very, very kind, and they really helped, incredibly also, because they immediately connected with me. And Professor Eugene Shargorodsky, he helped me also incredibly. He called me immediately. We recall that we met with him even on some conferences in Georgia because our scientific directions are not far, And then he and his another colleague, Professor Alexander Pushnitsky, they all really did so many that I can't say how I'm grateful for them. But in this way, Solidarity program told me that they really, after some meeting, they decided that it's possible to give me grant. But at this moment, King's College told that it's possible to find temporary work there for checking scripts, student scripts after exams. And of course I was happy because it was real work, so why to ask for grant? But what was absolutely touchful and was incredibly for me, that when Ulrika wrote me and then another person wrote me, Christy Marr, they told that they decided that it's possible to give some support not only for me, but for my mom also, It was incredible. Really, absolutely incredible. And I told, thank you very much. Thank you. But seems that I found this work. That's why I don't need then grant. Yes, I can work and earn money myself. It's perfect, absolutely. It's better than grant. And they told, okay, if you find really this work, if you're now in good position, show us your contract even. And we will check, can we help you somehow anyway or no, I say, thank you very much, I will try and so on. And I started this position, temporary work in King's College with checking of scripts. And they told, it maybe went summer, when I got from Christy Marr again email where she said, how are you, Natalia? How are you there? So person didn't forget about me. It was incredible. It was so helpful, friendly. And when you're absolutely alone, new country, new rules, and you feel someone behind your back who support you, because they told, if you have any problem, please, you can apply for us. We will help you. If now you're okay, but you have no constant position, if you need, we will give you something. So just tell us. And I told, if I find this work at King's College, what is difficult for me, it's way, because very expensive tickets for trains, and they can't, of course, afford some property in London. It's impossible. So I need to take train each time to London in days where I work. And if it's possible to help me somehow just with train. And it was amazing. They say, okay, we will give you welcome grant. We will give you it to support you in it. I can't even say how I'm grateful, really. And then in practically end of August, it was proposition to pass interview in King's College for this 1 year position. And I was very happy to it, because it's incredible place, incredible people, And I met with dean of this college, Stephen Gilmore. His position, he's head of school, mathematical school there, in our correspondence with Ukraine, it's position of dean, so I told it, but it's not dean, of course, in words here. And he and his colleagues, they found this place, they found work for me, and I can't even say how grateful I am. And I was very happy to send by email this contract to Christy and to show her, look, thank you very, very much. I found work. I'm so happy. And they say, okay, but we want also to make you happy maybe a little bit more. And they gave me possibility to be member of London Mathematical Society, for 1 year. Incredible, really. So friendly, so, human. I even can't say, So what such now I'm working in King's College. Difficult a little bit. As my colleague, Professor Pushnitsky, told, he says, you are going through institutionalization now, It's not easy, but incredible help of all staff, from Stephen Gilmore, Nikolai Gromov, Pushnitsky, Professor Shergorodsky, Professor Constant Rates, people who work as managers, officers, because it's annoying a little bit when person don't know and ask much time, what should I do, or how should I do, They're always very helpful. Shayon Desiree, Donna Nichols, Francis Benton, they all helped practically, a lot. So what my position now is such, I try to do my best, try to be helpful and useful.
I can't imagine what such a journey must have been like, and particularly to go from, you said at the beginning that you were professor of mathematical physics at Odessa.
In Odessa, the head of department.
Yeah. To go from that to being a refugee. Yes,
and to sitting in the refugee camp. And the most impression, what awful that I remember, when it was needed to go to Romania from Moldova. And they started, because they had no such trains even. There were huge crowds on railway, what we only saw, our generation, we only saw this in some films, movies about Second World War. And it was such expressions that I am a main hero in some terrible blockbuster about Second World War. I'm with my mom on a wheelchair. We are absolutely in huge crowd, and impossible with these tickets even to go to this, to come close to wagon, to put her in it wagon. And wagons were old one with stairs where you can't just cross gap and go in, you should go by stairs on hands. For mom, who is 88 in a wheelchair, it was impossible. For my dogs, was impossible. And can you imagine, some unknown people, they lifted mom along from this crowd. So I was on outside. In 2 minutes, this train should go. Mom is inside, dogs with me. So it was really sturm of this, of this wagon. And in wagon, all people, kids, old people, animals, cats, all practically people tried to take the animals with them, their pets. We all were on the floors. So it was some old people, kids with moms, they were on some seats, all as me and someone as me. We all were practically on the floor. So it was real evacuation film, where you're somehow as main hero, and difficult to trust yourself. And a lot of my friends, they told such impression, that it's some bad dream. And I will awake and all will be as it was. And I think about months was needed when we understood that it's not a dream. We can't awake, unfortunately. And we crossed really, this refugee camp was awful. But I should say how people tried to help. Moldova people, they were very kind, because all these first waves of refugee came to territory of Moldova, which is very small, really. And we have this small place in Palanka. It's a special place where we have common border with Ukraine. And they tried to do what was possible. They gave hot tea, they gave some sandwiches, something like this. They tried to help people. But it's even difficult to imagine how it was, how these waves came, women and kids are all men, dads, brothers, husbands. They all left, they all were territory of Ukraine and say goodbye through this border, and that's all. And many of them died from this moment on the fronts. And they will never see each other again, No. Even difficult to imagine now. True. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think everybody listening to this will join me in wishing for an end to this conflict as soon as possible, and that perhaps some kind of normality might return at one point. So I thank you for sharing that, because I know it's difficult to relive such things.
True.
So
thank you very much. I hope not even end. We need not end. We need victory. We need to win. We can't live without victory. We can't. I hope it will be so.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask, given your experience, what would you say to anybody listening to this, finding themselves in a similar position? They obviously wouldn't be amongst the first refugees to leave Ukraine, but anyone in Ukraine who would like to find some kind of refuge outside of the country, or indeed anyone from another country being forced to leave due to war or other circumstances, what would you say to someone in your position who is at the beginning of your journey now?
No, difficult just to give advices, but the most important, you should remember that if now even it's terrible and it seems to you absolutely dark around you and you can't see something ahead, believe, you should trust. It will be turned and you will see some light, sure, absolutely. And I think I can just repeat, never, never, never surrender. And try to find something. And I think that solidarity gave me with such absolutely confident feeling, that there are people who always will help. And it was really so. I even can't describe how it's important was to get these letters, Not even money, no. But some care of someone who thinks about you, who knows that, some woman there, and how is she? maybe we can help. It was very, very important. And I think that, first of all, you should try to find, search. You should search. You should search and you will find. Because a lot of good people around. But maybe that can help. And of course, you should know English, which is not easy for many people, because in Ukraine now it's much better situation than it was in Soviet time. I remember Soviet time very good. And all our young generation is very good with language, of course. But maybe people of my age, which life half was in Soviet time, maybe they have this problem. And that's why maybe possible will be some problems there. But now, I think, first of all, you should understand that there are a lot of resources where you can try to apply. And what I think that Newton Institute, it's an amazing place with this solidarity problem, not only for Ukrainian, a lot of refugees, unfortunately, we have. And I think that such, attention to some small person who came here, I don't know, it's this sand, small piece of sand in this sea. And they found you and they try to care about you. No, it's impossible to forget. I'm really even can't say how I'm grateful to these people for their attention. And my advice, go, try. Don't sit. You should try and you will find. Yes, and good people will be always around, sure. Of course, without help of all these people I told from King's College, for example, would be, maybe, don't know, will I find something or not, but you should search anyway. Something like this.
Well, hopefully this podcast and your words will connect with some people in a situation like yours, and that they will also find a similar journey. Yeah,
I hope very much. I hope. Because I understand how difficult to sit without any work, without understanding how to find it. So I think it's now also possible to find another resources. For example, a lot of Telegram canals also, which are focused on the help for Ukrainian scientists, also possible to find. Thanks to internet, of course, thanks. Because of it, possible to find a lot of resources and to connect with other people. And don't be shy. Explain your situation. Explain how you are. People should understand what's happened, because it's difficult to a normal person which every day away, going to work, kids going to school, no, normal life. It's very difficult really to imagine what's happened, how you from yesterday normal life going on the car across field under bombing. Is it me? Is it really so? Can't be. Yes, in one day. That's why you should also explain, because in some situation maybe people really can't understand some moments. Describe how is it. Ask for help. Nothing bad in it. What's something like this?
Well, thank you very much, Nataliya. That was really, really inspiring and helpful, and challenging to listen to, and interesting and uplifting at the same time. So thank you
very much for your invitation. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.